Hey everybody, Mark Herman, aka LA Bengal fan on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, repping the Bengals here. Well, happy New Year's Eve. As one door closes and a disappointing season ends, we have a new birth of optimism because after 16 years, we have finally parted ways with Marvin Lewis. Now, I'm not getting up here to do a Bash Marvin video. You have to understand that when Marvin came on in 2002, he inherited a team that had not been in the postseason since 1990. So when we won the division in 2005, that was our breaking a 15-year drought in the playoffs. Under Marvin's 16 years with the team, we went to the playoffs 7 times. We won 4 divisions. And this is a team that hadn't been to the playoffs in back-to-back seasons in a long time. And we went to 5 in a row. So he did change the culture. I just think he overstayed his welcome, and I think that that's going to damage his legacy. I really do. Wouldn't be surprised if Marvin pops up in Arizona. He has a vacation home there, or his retirement home is in Arizona, so he can not retire and move to his retirement home and coach the Arizona Cardinals. He will bring stability. He is very good at assembling a good staff of coaches. That is one of his strong suits. That's why I wouldn't have minded seeing him go up into the GM spot. But we all know Mike Brown's too fucking cheap to pay for a general manager, so that wasn't going to happen. There wasn't the whole, and I didn't expect there to be the reenactment of the French Revolution, you know, with pitchforks and torches outside, you know, to usher Marvin out of Cincinnati. I knew that wasn't going to be the case, that this was going to be an amicable parting. From what I've read, he sat down with Mike Brown today. They made the decision, and it was a mutual decision from what I'm understanding. I know that we keep hearing the word fired, but they sat down and mutually decided to part ways. Now, who I would like to see, I do not want Hugh Jackson to take over as head coach. I don't. And the Bengals reports right now are that they're going to take several weeks to go through the process. Now, they have to, with the Rooney Rule, there are certain people that have to interview and stuff, and they have to consider minority candidates, but I know they're going to go through the process. I really would like to see Mike Zimmer get fired at Minnesota, and I know that we would grab Zimmer, we put Vance Joseph in as defensive coordinator, and we keep Hugh Jackson on as offensive coordinator. The one thing that is very good is that we made the decision early. We're here at the very beginning with the 6 or 7 teams that all are going to be looking for new coaches. We're not getting into the game too late where a lot of the staff are filled out and a lot of the coaches are already taken. I think yesterday when you heard that Ross had decided with Gase, this is on in Miami, he had decided that they were going to take our time and decide whether to fire him, and then they fired him this morning. I think that was the mindset, is that people in the building said, hey, all the good assistants are going to be gone if we don't get into the game early. So if you're thinking about doing it, you pull the Band-Aid off earlier, sooner rather than later. You don't wait. You don't help yourself by waiting. So, but we're going to go through the process, but that's my dream. I would like to have, somehow we get Zimmer. I think that from the comments I'm reading, Zimmer is almost daring the Vikings to fire him. I'm not going to resign. I know they would like to get out of that contract. Maybe the teams work something out. I mean, we would like to have Zimmer. Zimmer should have never left the building. He should have been our head coach. Marvin should have gone up to GM, and Zimmer should have stayed. So love to see Zimmer back. Like I said, Vance Joseph, I can see coming back into the building. He was a DB coach under Zimmer during our successful years with our defense. So, and before, I do want to touch on yesterday's game just a tad, was where was that defense all year? Where was the effort that we saw? We knew we have a good defensive line. We know we have a good secondary. Our linebackers are our weakness, but where was the effort in the defense that we saw yesterday? We would be in the playoffs right now if that team had been there. We had that middle of the season from the bye week on where this defense was just non-existent. It was the worst defense in football, and it certainly didn't look like that yesterday. They went into Pittsburgh and they played inspired ball, and my question is, like, where was that all year? So hopefully the next coach will be able to harness it. He will be inheriting a very good roster. I think Zimmer would really like our roster. I think he'd like William Jackson, is exactly the shutdown corner he wants. We're drafting 11th overall. We won't have to reach for an offensive lineman or an elite linebacker. I think we need to go offensive line early, but we'll cover all that in later episodes. Let's see who our coach is. One thing we know for sure, with Mike Brown involved, anything can happen. So let's see what the coming days have for us. So with that, I won't be able to sign off like I always do. I have to change it to fuck Mike Brown until we get back to the Super Bowl. And I want to wish everybody a happy and healthy new year. Please be safe tonight. And we will talk soon. We'll talk next year. Hooty, everybody.